Hey everyone, Arch has a really bad reputation when it comes to being user-friendly. Everybody thinks it's really hard to install Arch Linux. And of course, if you were using or installing like Arch Linux the old way, well, I would say it's not that easy. However, if you are using the latest Archinstall script, which is actually included in the Arch Linux ISO, well, it's gonna be pretty easy. And this is what we are going through in this video. I'm gonna install my operating system and starting fresh. Are you ready? Let's get into it. As always, I'm gonna start with a little bit of context. I've been using Arch and Arch-based distro for the last 2 years. Right now, I'm doing a 1-month challenge, and guess what? It's gonna be a challenge based on Arch. So for me, it's gonna be like holidays. I love this distro. This is my main distro. To me, this is the best distro ever. I just wanted to share that with you. I made a full video where I explain why it's really hard for me to get back to other distribution after like staying on Arch that long. But what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna wipe one of my hard drive and we're gonna install Arch on hard. It won't be a virtual machine. It won't be any of this. We're gonna go through it together. Also, because I'm doing this challenge, I'm gonna make a lot of video toward Arch. And this is the first video of a long series. So what I'm gonna ask you guys is like, if you like the content or if you have any type of question toward Arch, please write them in the comment below and let me know what you think and what you would like me to actually like push on this channel. I've already like planned 3 or 4 videos for Arch and especially, but maybe I'm missing something or forgetting something. So guys, don't forget to let me know, all right? Let's get into it. I created a Vantoy disk a long time ago, and this is the way I install everything on my computer. So as you can see, I downloaded the latest Arch Linux ISO, which is from December 2023. And I'm gonna boot on it in normal mode. If you have a pretty recent PC, one thing you should make sure to look at is the fact that your BIOS is set up to EUFI and you deactivated secure boot. It's gonna make everything way easier for the install, and maybe in the future it's gonna change, but right now this is how it is, so make sure you do that. Now after booting, you're gonna arrive on this screen. And don't be scared by that, it's gonna be pretty sweet. First thing you need to do is to edit the way we're gonna download and install all the package on this installation. So for doing that, I'm gonna type sudo space nano/etc/pacman.conf. And you're gonna understand what I'm gonna do. Here there is something called MISC option. What I want to do, I'm going to activate the color. I'm going to activate the verbose package list. And I'm going to, super important, activate the parallel download. And the most important, in my opinion, is this one, this option, because it's going to give you the opportunity to really increase the installation of the distro. So to save, you need to type Ctrl+O and enter, and then Ctrl+X to exit. Now we set that up. I'm going to launch the script, and the script is already there. It's called Archinstall. Some users, they like to update it. Me, I don't really care. I just install it like that. You will see it's going to do the job anyways. And the way you launch it is just tap Archinstall, enter. And you will see it's not really fancy, but it does the job pretty well. We're gonna go through the option together, and I'm gonna give you like my feedback each time I change something, all right? So Archinstall language, English 100%. So you type here, enter. If you want something else, obviously you choose your language. For the mirror, you go on it and you choose mirror region. And here you can do a slash. It's written at the bottom, slash. And you choose the region. So personally, I'm in Canada right now. So I'm gonna take the United States mirror. They run way faster for me than the Canadian one for whatever reason. So that's the one I take. And here you press enter. Boom, it's set up. Then you go back. Now we're going to look at the local. Here you define your keyboard layout, the local language, everything. Everything is set up for me because I'm using a QWERTY keyboard here. If you need to change it, this is where you're supposed to change it. Now we're going to look at the disk configuration. Okay, so this configuration, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the best effort default partition layout because I would say like it will be enough for most of the user right now. And if you are at the level of manual partitioning, you might not need to watch this tutorial. But anyways, so you click here, use a best effort default partition layout, enter. And it's going to show me all my drive. And the drive I want to install on right now is my NVMe Pro 1 terabyte drive, this one. So to choose it, you're going to press enter here. You're going to choose your file system. So here, it's a question that comes up all the time. Air Max, what is the best file system? And I'm going to tell you straight, the best file system is the one you want to use. And on top of that, the best file system is the one you know how to use. So personally, I like both BTRFS and XT4. I like BTRFS because it has a really good advantage when it comes to make like snapshot and configure all of that. So for the sake of showing you how it works, I'm going to go with BTRFS here. But you can go with XT4 or XFX or F2FS, whatever. If you don't know what you are doing, just go with XT4. It's going to be the easiest way. If you know what you are doing, pick whatever the one you want. Would you like to use BTRFS subvolume with default structure? Yes, please. Would you like to use compression? Yes. Disk encryption. Do you want to do that? Personally, I don't do it. So, problem solved. Bootloader. Bootloader, again, it's really related to what you want. My opinion, I like Grub because I'm used to it. So, I'm going to go with Grub. There is some case where you need one or another, but I don't want to go too deep in this video. Unified kernel image. Wow, that's a new option. Would you like to use kernel file? No. Now the swap. It's always also a question. Like people are asking me, like, do I do swap? Do I don't do swap? Why, and why not? On paper, it's always better to have swap. I've been using system without swap system, and they have been working great. So for the sake of it, I'm going to let it on true, but just keep in mind that if you have, let's say 64 gigabytes of RAM, you don't really need swap. It's just my 2 cents, but you do you after. Host name, you can choose whatever you want here. So it's going to be Arch, by the way, for me. Root password, no thanks. User account. Add user. So here I'm going to add one user here. And I'm going to have to choose a password. So I'm going to do a really hard password here. So obviously, if you choose a really bad password like the one I've chosen here, it's going to tell you the password strength is weak, but nobody cares. And should Air Max be a super user? And here you say yes. Now what you do, you're going to go confirm and exit. Now we move to profile. So profile is super important because you're going to really decide what you're going to do with your PC. We're going to use it as a desktop in this case, but you have multiple options here. But if you are a beginner, I would say go for desktop. So you click on desktop and then you can choose your desktop environment. I'm going to go with KDE because in my opinion right now, this is the most well-rounded desktop environment for gaming and also for Wayland. It's the one which is the most in advance. So I'm going to go with this one. You can choose the one you want. There is no bad answer here, but for me it's KDE. Now the graphic driver, super important. All open source, AMD or Intel. So here I'm gonna go with the NVIDIA proprietary, because this is what I'm using. I have a 4090 RTX. Enter. And the greater SDDM, it's perfect. We're gonna keep it that way. Audio. You go there and you go with Pipewire. Okay, because you can choose not having any audio server, Pipewire or Pulse Audio. So Pulse Audio is a previous version, and Pipewire now cover Pulse Audio. So going Pipewire, it's 100% like victory there. So now it's the kernel, and the kernel, it really depends on what you are doing with your PC. I would say if you are like me and you are creating like content and you are playing video game, the best one will be the Linux Zen. Now, if you want the maximum stability, you go with the LTS. If you want the more like security, you go with the hardened. And if you want the basic one, you go with Linux. For me, it's the Zen if you game. This is just a good start. It's not the end game, but this is a good start. So we're gonna go with this one. Now, do you want any additional packages? So here, I'm gonna add packages which I know won't be part of the all install. So I'm gonna add my browser, Firefox. I'm gonna add fast fetch because I really like this application. And what else I'm gonna add? Yeah, that's all. Here you can add whatever you want, but I think that's enough for me here. The network configuration. Then you enter here, and what I would advise is to selection copy ISO network configuration to installation, because the network manager, you're gonna have to configure it after, and doing manually, it could be a pain. Normally, if you are here, you should have your PC connected to wire, and you should have internet. If you don't have internet, you won't be able to continue the installation. So now you have to choose the time zone. So time zone, you type slash, and here, I mean, America, Toronto. So I choose that, done. Automatic time sync, yes, true. Optional repository, you check the multi-lib case here. Okay, and now you are ready to install. So we're gonna press install here, and normally we should be all right. Continue. And as you see right off the bat, instead of downloading only one package at a time, I'm downloading 5 of them because I activated parallel download there. And it doesn't look like that, but it's gonna make the installation way, way faster than if I didn't do it.
A few moments later.
So at the end of the installation, you should arrive to a window like that. And what it's going to ask you is like, would you like to shoot into the newly created installation and perform post-installation configuration? And some people do, I don't. So I will just say no here, and we should be good. Now, I'm gonna restart, and we should be able to boot right into it. So I'm gonna type reboot and enter. All right, so you can see here, I have a UEFI OS 980 Pro 1 terabyte. That's the one I installed Arch on it. So I'm gonna start. I have the grub menu, so it worked. Press enter, and we should be good to go. Surprise, surprise! And yes, so I type my crazy password. And here we are. Boof! Okay, so the first thing I want to do here, I want to see what is the status of my driver. So NVIDIA SMI, and yes, wow. It's working right off the bat. No problem. This is awesome, guys. And as you noticed, I did install fast fetch. And ta-doom! Here we are. No problemo, boys. It is pretty sweet, huh? It is pretty sweet. Ta-dam! And voila! You are ready to install Arch in less than 10 minutes. like literally 10 minutes, because obviously it was a little bit longer because I tried to explain all the different options here. But it's a finger in the noise, guys. Now you are running Arch. In the next video, I'm gonna share with you a special script that one of my buddies made to really transform this Arch-based, like pure Arch, to a really well-rounded installation. So don't forget to subscribe, give a like to the video, and yeah, I see you in the next one. Have a great one, guys, and thanks again for watching and everything. Take care.